Welcome to the Inspired Riding Podcast. I'm your host, Beth Lauren Parrish. As a certified riding instructor, remote coach, and rapid transformational therapy practitioner, a powerful form of hypnotherapy, I'm here to remind you to slow down, trust your intuition, and really deeply listen to your horse. And this will make for the best co-creative dances possible, whether you're on the ground or connecting on their backs. Thank you so much for being here, and here we go.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here in this podcast. Today I'm so excited to share with you a returning guest, Ifa Simmonds. Ifa Simmonds is a certified equestrian performance coach and creator of the Equestrian Fitness Academy, EFA. EFA, or Ifa, is the premier fitness coaching program for equestrians in English and Western disciplines looking to improve their athleticism. Ifa combines his experience and expertise through several certifications, including functional fitness, yoga, and Pilates, among others, into Ifa. His online program serves busy riders who want to continue strengthening their core in partnership with his signature 4 core pillars. His core mission is to transform competitors into champions. He encourages riders to build an even greater connection and unity with their horse. Ifa is motivated to empower more riders to help them create effective habits and solutions for lifelong change and success.
Thank you so much, Ifa, for being here with me again.
Thank you so much, Beth. It is truly always an honor whenever we have an opportunity to chat. So, yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So today we are talking about riding confidence. So my first question for you, Ifa, what are some of the key elements you believe help riders to feel confident for riding?
For me, I'd say, honestly, preparation. The ability to know that you can handle something leads to the confidence that's necessary to continue to do it. And so preparation would be my answer for that. Preparation leads to confidence.
That's beautiful. And so how do you help your clients prepare then?
I like to help them as holistically as possible, considering what I do is fitness and wellness, which is an all-encompassing approach. So where one person may be more confident than the other, or may be more prepared in a specific scenario, I feel that for me, making sure that they are physically able to handle the tasks in the saddle as well as outside of the saddle, but also mentally or emotionally, just having and opening up that conversation and that portal makes it easy for them to say, okay, I'm feeling confident because I can trust this person, or because they understand or they value the things that I'm dealing with, and that makes it all easier.
That's beautiful. And I definitely felt that when I was working with you. So I appreciate that about you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Do you have any stories you'd like to share about yourself or a client around the process of building confidence for riding? And how did it unfold, really?
How did it unfold and how I helped someone with confidence in life or in the saddle?
It could be anything. You choose.
Well, in the name of talking about the preparation, I would say there's so many examples. It happens so naturally. So it's tough to say this was exactly what we did, because the formula is slightly different for each and every client of mine specifically. But let's just say I had an older client. This is obviously a true story. An older client who came to me who hadn't been riding for ages, maybe close to 10 years due to life situations, but spent her whole life working on a farm, taking care of horses, so on and so forth. her most important thing was to say, I want to make sure that I am comfortable, confident, and safe when getting back to my riding my horse, which is something that hasn't happened in a long time. And now that, once again, she's older in her 70s, she wanted to make it an internal decision that led to the external decision. So how did we do that? We put her on a specific program that helped her with her mobility and her balance, which were two really important things that helped alongside her saying, okay, I feel more comfortable now because I know that I can handle uncertain situations on horseback. And then throughout our different coaching calls and conversations, we always talked about, okay, how are you feeling now? Not just physically, because I can see that through our digital software, but how are you feeling? And are you closer towards getting back in the saddle? And each and every month she would say, yeah, it'd be a percentage. Let's say I'm 25%, I'm 50%, I'm 75%. And she actually did, to end the long story, she actually did get back in the saddle. She competed at Congress in Ohio and really, really enjoyed the experience of getting back to it and actually did really well. So that's just one example of so many others that people have felt like, now that I know my body can handle something, it makes it easier. And obviously, I'm just speaking from one component of confidence, but for what I do on a normal basis, I would say that that made the difference.
That gave me
Definitely.
full on chills. That's amazing to go from not riding
Yeah.
in 10 years, working with you, and then competing beautifully. Oh,
Yeah.
that must have felt so rewarding.
Rewarding for everybody
Yeah.
involved,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, absolutely. And so her goal wasn't to compete often, but it was just to prove to herself that I can still do this. And I it's never too late, it's never too late.
I love that. It's so true. So whether you've just had a long break or you've literally broken yourself, which I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I have
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of metal in my body, and your program helped get me so confident that I started riding not only consistently bareback on my pony, but I started riding without a bridle, and that was huge for me because I never thought that was possible. But to have that confidence in my body and the trust with this pony was just priceless. So I really appreciate all that help.
Thank you. You said the best word there, which is trust, right?
Yes,
It's a two-way street. And so when we trust ourselves and we trust our horses, they then give us more that we want out of the experience, and it's twofold. So thank you for that. And anyone who's listening and everyone who's listening, just understand that that trust is a two-way street that has to be developed and earned and worked towards, and it's a never-ending journey.
absolutely. And it's worth taking that journey. It's amazing.
Definitely. Definitely is. Yep.
What do you think holds riders back from being their most confident selves?
Mm. True belief that they can actually do it. Yep. The prophecies of what people experience and go through make all the difference. Make all the difference. And I think that that's probably the best way I can put it. It's just, it sounds really, really trivial and simple, and it isn't, but in an essence, it is. And so when we believe in ourselves in more aspects of our life throughout the day, throughout the year, it translates to so many other areas. And the one area that we really enjoy being in and with is working with horses and being around them and being on them. And so that journey can't just start when we're just talking about our saddle time. It has to happen in so many different ways or aspects of our life. So I would say that would be a big one for me.
I love that because basically you have to think about whatever you believe about yourself comes from the thoughts that you repeatedly say to yourself or say it out loud to others. So if you're coming from a space of, oh, I don't think I could ever do that, then that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
your reality. But if you leave it open to, I wonder what would happen if I tried this. And and that's where you start to create those stepping stones towards your most confident self.
Yes, I say that all the time, not that exact phrase, which is really powerful. That's something that people should write a note about. But we also hear this in other areas of our life, like on TV, or the things that we read, or the friends that we keep around. It could even be our trainer or the barn environment that might not have that positive self-talk, but positive public talk around us as well. So taking stock in the environments and the things that we feed ourselves mentally and physically and emotionally all help us to build the version of the person that we want to. And each and every opportunity is a situation that we can overcome or improve or become better at, if I can say it that way.
Definitely. Yeah, well, there's always room for adjustment.
Always room for adjustment. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You can say that again.
So when do you feel the most confident in life?
Wow. When do I feel the most confident in life? I would say I feel the most confident in life when I'm doing things that feed me. And I say feed me as in make me smile, talk. It's tough to put into words, but I feel most confident when I'm doing things that make me happiest. And one of those things would be, major things would be trail riding or being out in nature, as we've talked about many a time. That is the comfort for me where I feel like I could try anything, I could do anything. My mind is opened up to a different level and it's just expanded. And so I literally do. So it could be on a nature hike. It could be just a walk. It could be that trail ride that we talked about, finding a new trail or just taking a new way or just saying, hey, if anything, we can always turn around. So those are ways that, but also another aspect that I think is important to mention is when I'm working with clients one-on-one in person. That's another area where I feel that I could do anything because I know what I'm talking about, or I've been there, or I've done this a numerous amount of times. So those would be the places or the spaces that make me feel the most confident myself.
That's gorgeous. So it's really all about you getting to be your authentic self, and that's what brings your confidence even more.
Authenticity. I love that. Yes, the authenticity leads to so many more things. And that's a place that more riders, myself included, should always strive towards, is being that.
Yeah, and that's what our horses crave. They want us to be congruent, meaning they want us to express exactly how we're feeling outwardly from inside. Because if we're feeling a little bit anxious and we say, I'm doing great, and then you're kind of like holding your breath, the horse is like, no, you're not. Stop kidding yourself. But if you say, hey, I'm a little nervous right now, but I have faith we're going to get through this. I trust you, you trust me. And then you can both do your horse sigh.
Yep.
And then they can relax because they know you're being true to yourself inside and out. And that's really where the confidence builds. So even expressing a feeling that's not that confident will actually build confidence, believe it or not.
Yes.
So yeah.
In adding to what you just said, I talk to my clients about this all the time, and I say, set the intention before your ride. It's okay if you don't know what your trainer is going to do for the day. It's okay if you're just going to go out there and just walk around for a little bit because that's the only time where the what your horse is, where it is right now. Maybe it's you're rehabbing, so on and so forth. But talk to them, tell them about your day. Literally, hey, it's been a rough day. I've been going through it, but I'm here now. I'm really happy to be here with you, so on and so forth. But that intention right there that your horse already picked up on makes so much more of a difference in terms of what we can actually accomplish, if that makes sense.
Yes, it builds the trust, and then it takes away the static in anything in your relationship because they can feel that you're being really clear, and clarity equals kindness in my book.
Yep.
Yep. Pretty awesome.
What do you wish every rider would believe about themselves?
That the journey takes place within. It's what you can get out of your horse is automatically more when you focus on how to improve and work on yourself. And when we do that with the thought process of being better for ourselves and our horses, the journey just becomes even more specific.
I love that. And that's what I love about your program. It's so much more holistic than just saying, okay, you're doing these exercises, now go. Yep.
Yes, it's definitely not a set and forget.
No. Okay, Aoife, so I had a couple clients in my Inspired Riding Connection group that wanted to ask you specific questions. So one of them wanted to know, how do you think rider fitness affects confidence?
How do I think rider fitness affects confidence, right?
Yes.
It goes back into the holistic approach again. That's how we started the conversation, which is what we do outside of the saddle is brought into the saddle. And the more that we are physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared for what could take place or what we'd like to take place during a competition, during a leisure ride, during practice, in any other scenario that we're with, it makes it easier for us to actually convey that, communicate that with our horse. So the fitness component, which is not just physical, as I just mentioned, it is the blessing that keeps giving us more and more, because then it's the same thing with our horse. We focus on making sure that they are fit enough, and we can tell almost immediately, and there's actually kind of a baseline for their fitness, but when it comes to ours, we typically don't do as much, and that's just the physical component. So even if we started at one aspect of the three that I just mentioned, it will definitely help us to improve our confidence, our balance, our position, our posture, and the amount of time that we could do it. Maybe you want to ride more than one horse, if that's an opportunity of yours, in the same day. Now you could do it because you have the physical component, but then you have to, confidence is also another part where, can I really do it? And the answer would be yes, with the given tools.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question was, what's the one exercise you wish every rider would do?
Ooh, the one exercise I wish every rider would do. Let's go with two. I'm thinking of one for strengthening the body and the other for building suppleness. So two of my pillars here. Let's go with suppleness first, since most people have a tightness in the hip area. Let's say our mobility exercise would be a butterfly stretch. I'll make it two. Why not? I'm already here. Or a bonus, everyone, a bonus, or a deep squats, something that I know is challenging for a lot of people because there's so many different components to that. So the deep squat is where you're sitting your hips as low as you can towards the floor. And that exercise helps with ankle mobility, knee flexibility, hip flexibility, so on and so forth. So many different things, obviously, and there's the muscular components as well. And the first one, I forgot what I said already.
The butterfly stretch?
Thank you, the butterfly. We're sitting down on the floor, back straight with the bottoms of your feet connected and your knees out wide. This is going to help with the inner thigh, the opening up the hips, which is something that I hear quite often, and also just an easy one for you to possibly do for a meditation or your mindfulness, pre-ride, post-ride, at home, in the chair at work if you sit for a living. So let's go into the strength exercise. I would say adding to the deep squat would be practicing a chair squat or a wall sit. something where you're lengthening the stamina aspect, the strength and stamina aspect of what you could achieve in the saddle. So practicing your squats, it could be for any number of repetitions that's comfortable for you, once a day or twice a day. And for the wall sit, start with what feels comfortable and then add on maybe a second or two every day and or every week, depending on how often you like to practice it.
Brilliant. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you. I think they got a couple bonuses there, huh?
They did, as they deserve. They're wonderful, wonderful clients.
The community is great. Yep.
Okay, so just for fun, if you were a horse, how would you describe yourself?
How would I describe myself if I was a horse? So I am a horse, and I'm describing myself to another horse or a human?
To either. I say, do both. Do both. That'd be fun to hear.
She's like, okay, I didn't think of that one. To either, how would I describe myself? As a fun, introspective person, I, Ifa the horse, am a fun, introspective person who enjoys being in nature and just being a horse. I just love being a horse.
I love it. Yep, that would certainly be me. With a little bit of playfulness for sure. Which is why I hang out with Pepper and we run like mad sometimes. So.
And walk and walk on your trail rides. Yep. Or trail walks, excuse me.
Yes. Totally. That's
brilliant. I love that.
So fun. Okay, so is there anything else that you'd like to share that I haven't asked?
That you haven't asked. I would like to leave people with understanding that confidence is a journey. It is not a destination, similar to our fitness and wellness. That journey is always a sliding scale that you'll have to manage. And the more prepared you are for it in all the categories, physically, mentally, emotionally, it is going to be easier for you to find a consistent baseline. So for everyone who is working through confidence issues or rebalancing their confidence, know that this is something that is really important to understand, that you'll never master it, but it's always a journey. So be prepared, practice, and do that type of thing often. And I think that's probably what I'll finish with there.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ifa. And how can people get a hold of you? And is there any kind of offer you'd like to share that you'd like the audience to know about?
Yes. So everyone can find me online at ifafit.com. So that's IFAFIT.com. And on Instagram, social media, at IFA.FIT, Ifa Fit again, as well as Facebook, which is my first name, last name, Ifa Simmonds. So those are the ways that you can contact me. And let's see, what else? Oh, offer. Yes. So recently I've launched EFA Ultimate, which is my new membership style program, which we are in our second month now and doing fantastic, really enjoying the new categories and themes and programs and training that have been implemented and used, and the feedback has been great. Someone just said yesterday that they have felt they feel the strongest that they felt in years since just joining, and she joined a month ago. So the results are already happening, and I'm really excited to mention that you can find through Beth and go on her in her group, in your group.
Actually, on my website, if you go to inspiredriding.com, scroll all the way down, and you'll see a little button that says other services or products we love, and you click on there, and you're going to find his info there. Yep.
You're in the right place. Then enjoy, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ifa, and may the horse be with you always.
Thank you so much, Beth.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. All right, thank you again so much for listening. And again, if you are interested in checking out Ifa's offers, you can check out the notes in the podcast here. And if you'd like to learn more about Inspired Riding, please go to inspiredriding.com. Remember to lead with kindness for yourself and for your horse. And may the horse be with you always.